Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about Mob Psycho 100 on Season 3 on Episode 6. Now, this episode right here, looks like to me we get to know a little bit about Dimple himself, you know? I mean, we already know how he was from the very beginning, you know, but in the end, we get to see what he really wanted, I guess. But if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that, Kageyama or Mob does take a couple hits from, like, Dimple-kun or Dimple, you know? But eventually, it looks like Kageyama was actually tired and knows that, like, Dimple will not kill him or hurt him, you know? Kageyama decides to go like, hey, how about you and I talk this out, you know, that kind of thing. And after much talking here and there and so forth, Dimple, he is some kind of greedy evil spirit that wants to rule and wants to have a lot of followers, you know? But eventually, as time continues on, when he spent his time with, like, Kageyama throughout his time and just wanted to, like, use him for his own, like, ambitions and selfish gains, you know, he eventually later on came to realize that he really wanted to have a friend, you know, and later on he found that friend within Kageyama or Mob, you know, which I thought it was pretty cool, cute, and awesome, you know, and it made me a little emotional seeing how Dimple was actually a lost spirit here and there. Well, he does seem lost. All he did was have a certain goal, but Kageyama does mention that they end up having some funny moments here and there, but Kageyama or Mob ends up using too much energy, you know, and ends up sleeping. We had to it that Dimple decides to, like, carry Mob out of there. However, the broccoli tree ends up having a personality of its own and tries to take Shigeo or Mob, you know. Dimple, in his god form or golden god form, does not allow that and clashes against them as best as he can, you know. However, because they have absorbed Mob's energy and plus Dimple's energy, they overwhelm Dimple-kun or Dimple with a lot of power and the strength they absorb from not only Kageyama but also Dimple himself, you know. Eventually, we have to it, Dimple does survive for a bit, but he has some fatal injuries. He will later on use his brainwashing ability to actually send Mob home, you know. Knowing that, like, this is going to be his last stand, he decides to face the broccoli monster, sacrifice himself, and possibly send the broccoli out into outer space so it doesn't harm the people or his friend ever again, you know. And we had to it eventually, like I said, like, that, that Kageyama or Mob ends up waking up and wondering how he got home. Eventually, we have to it, Mob can't remember anything, but he does give his thanks to Dimple, knowing that he possibly knows that Dimple is gone. And I thought that was emotional because, you know, Dimple, he was like a freaking antagonist somewhat, you know, an anti-villain or anti-hero kind of guy who wants to do his own selfish ambitions or gains, you know, but eventually he changed a lot in this episode to, like, care for Kageyama as a friend and going out of his way to actually sacrifice himself, you know. And after being absorbed by the broccoli or going inside the broccoli after being killed or defeated by the broccoli personality whatsoever it is, he sends it to space, and Mob may not remember much, but he does cry for Dimple, knowing that he won't be around anymore, and thanks him for actually saving him. So it looks like Ekubo or Dimple guy or green ball of mucus became a green fireball that protected his friend to the very end, you know, which I thought was pretty cool, you know. Kind of emotional to see how he sacrifices himself, but I guess it was necessary for him because I guess he did a lot of bad things, and I guess he just wanted to possibly save the only friend he has left, knowing that, like, that guy was the only one that accepted him and took him in, you know. So yeah, sorry if this episode recap or summary becomes short, but that's just how it is, you know. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Ta-da!